pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I pledge allegiance to the flag of Michigan and to the state for which it stands, to the beautiful peninsulas, united by a bridge of steel, where equal opportunity and justice to all is our ideal.
Sandy, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Shippers.
Here.
Bowman. Here. Stevens.
Here.
Keith.
Here.
Mayor Folkins.
Here. And at this time, if we could have a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Sandy, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmembers Bowman.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Keith.
Yes.
Shippers.
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries. At this time, we'll go ahead and open the floor for the first public comment. We do ask if you come forward, if you would please give us your name and then also write your name and your address so Sandy has that information. And if you would please try to keep your remarks to 3 minutes or less.
Good evening, Merry Christmas. I'm Bo McCurdy, 417 Crestview. And remember, as a council, you probably remember a concerned group of citizens who loved their neighborhood and wanted help with the organizing of a neighborhood watch type program. At that same time, the Cadillac Police Department was getting info on what a town near Saginaw had successfully implemented. Officer Jeffrey York and Chief Todd Golnick went and learned how they did it to see if it could be used in Cadillac. Well, they think it can. They have named this wide-ranging program the Cadillac Community Partnership. For complete information on all it entails, because the neighborhood is about a quarter of it. And I'd suggest just asking Todd, and he'll be happy to fill you in. I think they're pretty proud of what's going to happen. Anyways, we're here to say that it's off and running. Yay, woohoo. And, we have an EIN number, a bank account, officers. Why, we're legit. And we doubled the amount of participants at the last meeting, just recently on the 15th. And the next meeting is Tuesday, January 12th. I know we had said 13th, but we're going to do these on Tuesdays. And we've been doing them at the AMVETS upstairs. Thank you. I knew you were up here for some good reason, because I'm not going to remember all this stuff. And that's second floor, and it has something that, a little thing that'll take you up. So if you have trouble going up those steps, Richie, your brother Richie?
No, not me.
No. And Julie Thiebel are the other two officers. And we're getting along. And I say that because I'm me. And anyways, I'll now let one of my new friends continue with more info. I mean, we've done a few things. You want me to continue on?
Go ahead.
Well, we're going to try to raise some money. We're going to, our goal is 6 signs in the neighborhood that is essentially, go ahead, you know the neighborhood better than I do, but I'm thinking River, 13th,
Yes.
Plet or whatever over there.
To Mitchell.
To Mitchell. That's a nice kind of a squared off little area, I think. And
That's to start off.
yeah, that's just most. Now, not everybody who's on that lives in that neighborhood, which is what we want. We want everyone to come and enjoy these meetings and think about what they want to do for their neighborhood. I mean, I came, it wasn't my neighborhood, but I came because it's my city. And I was glad. I kept coming. I'm now an officer. And I'm happy about it. It's fun. And it's going to be good, and we're going to try to earn some money, and maybe some people might match or something like that, or we've got somebody that says, you show me that you're doing something and we'll match it. And we'll maybe put a sign up also. So that's where we're at right now, trying to hone our skills at having a meeting, because we're not experts. And unlike you guys, we may not be quite as smooth as you, but we're working on it. Anyways, that's what I wanted to report. We're real happy. Go band.
Thanks.
Okay, seeing no one else, we'll go ahead and close public comment. And at this time, we need to approve the consent agenda. And this evening, we have the minutes from the regular meeting that was held on December 7th.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support?
Sandy, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Keith?
Yes.
Shippers?
Yes.
Spelman?
Yes.
Mayor Folkins?
Yes, motion carries. Okay, this evening we have a proclamation, and I see a few people are here from the Cadillac High School Marching Band. Where are all of you? Yay. Okay. Would you all like to come forward? Thank you. Wonderful. Mrs. Brown has to come up too. Okay, all right. We have a board member back here too, Judy Coffey. Would you like to come up with the students? I would. Okay. I'm old enough to Okay, after you tweet it out, you can come up. Okay, this proclamation is to recognize the 2015 Cadillac High School Marching Vikings. Whereas on August 20th, the Cadillac High School Marching Vikings received an invitation from the parade company to participate in the 2015 Art Van Americans Thanksgiving Day Parade in Detroit for the second time in 5 years. Whereas the Marching Vikings performed 13 shows between August 27th and October 16th, 2015, including many school and community functions, as well as performing as the home marching band for a Hope College football game. And whereas on October 14th, 2015, the Marching Vikings received the highest possible rating, a Division I rating, at the Michigan Band and Orchestra Association Marching Festival. And whereas the Marching Vikings then began a month-long training regimen in preparation for marching the 3-mile-long parade route. That included workouts designed by the Cadillac YMCA, in addition to intensive daily marching and playing. And whereas the Marching Vikings arrived at the parade site in Detroit at 7 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day to march in front of 100,000 people in attendance at the parade, in addition to a national audience of over 10 million viewers as one of 12 marching bands participating in the parade. And whereas the Marching Vikings performed and represented the greater Cadillac community in an exceptional manner, culminating in the community joining together to vote the Cadillac High School Marching Vikings the 2015 America's Thanksgiving Parade Battle of the Bands winner. And whereas the 2015 Marching Vikings are comprised of 85 band members, led by field conductors Mike Jones and Tori John, color guard instructor Bridget Fitzgerald and directed by band director Mike Filkins. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Carla J. Filkins, Mayor of the City of Cadillac, and on behalf of the City Council, hereby express sincerest congratulations and proclaim our great pride and appreciation to the 2015 Cadillac Vikings Marching Band for representing the Cadillac community with the highest class, dignity, excellence, and resolved this 21st day of December 2015. There you go. Congratulations.
Good job.
Okay, the next thing that we have on our agenda this evening is the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. The first item this evening is a request from the Cadillac Housing Commission regarding a change in their compensation. In your packets is a copy of a letter we received, as well as a copy of the minutes from the Housing Commission meeting in which they approved the request. Please note that per our charter, and I think most of you realize this, the city does, or the city is required to approve these items, even though the funding does not come from the city's coffers. In summary, I'm going to refer back to the minutes in the packet to mention what the changes are. It is the Commission's recommendation to provide the director with a 3% pay increase and match the contribution of up to no more than 3% of her salary to be contributed to the MERS 457 program. Everyone else will receive a 3% increase except their client services specialist, who will receive $16.68 per hour, and their custodian, who will receive $9.25 per hour. And it would be appropriate at this time to consider a motion adopting the change in compensation.
It's nice to see, we have quite a few board members, first of all, that are present. And I just want to commend the Cadillac Housing Commission, the board, for your focus on the employees. You've always been here, and I know that you consider your employees an asset, and you're always here in the tight budgets, making sure they're getting raises, and that's appreciated very much. And I'd like to make a motion that we accept the compensation changes requested by the Cadillac Housing Commission as they are presented.
I'll support it.
Sandy, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Keith,
Yes.
Shippers,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. This next item is with respect to the 2016 calendar year council meeting schedule. As in the past, at the last calendar year meeting, the council has adopted the regular meeting schedule for the next calendar year. The following are dates in which there is a conflict, and I'll go through that accordingly. On Monday, January 18th, our city offices are closed due to Martin Luther King Day. It's being recommended that the meeting be rescheduled to Tuesday, January 19th. On Monday, March 7th, we are recommending that the meeting be canceled due to Election Day on the preceding day, on the following day. On Monday, July 4th, we're recommending that the meeting be canceled due to the Independence Day holiday. On Monday, August 1st, we are recommending that the meeting be canceled due to Election Day being the day after. On Monday, September 5th, we are recommending that the meeting be rescheduled to Tuesday, September 6th due to Labor Day. And on Monday, November 7th, we are recommending that the meeting be canceled again due to Election Day on the following day.
I have a question about the 4th.
Yes.
The 4th is on a Monday? Yes, yes.
so.
Why wouldn't we move that to the following Tuesday, right after that? Why wouldn't it just be rescheduled?
We could, if that is what council would like to do. In the past, when we had a 4th of July holiday, we did cancel it, but there is no reason why we can't. Likewise, I should also mention, with any of these, if we need to have a special meeting, which we might have to schedule a special meeting as well.
So when
for
there's
some of
an election, we can't have it that night, and then, because we need to set up, and then we really can't have it the next day because
Correct.
there's an election. So it makes sense, I guess, not to have it then, and we could always
Right.
have it on Wednesday, I suppose. And historically, it has been kind of slow around the 4th of July in terms of work and then prepping to get to it, but we've always left it open too, that if something came up, we would schedule a meeting.
Plus, a lot of people are gone then. I mean,
A lot
not
of people
just-
are gone.
Not us,
On
but a lot of
vacation.
people are
Yeah.
gone, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We can leave it like that, just knowing that we may have to meet, especially on that 5th, that Tuesday.
And as I sit here this evening, Mayor, members of City Council, there might be other pressing items of business that may need to be taken care of during some of these other weeks where meetings are canceled due to the election dates, in which we might be requesting a special meeting be set.
Okay.
I just don't know
Yeah.
today what those might be, but there could be a request for a special meeting on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I mean, it could happen at any
Okay.
time. So.
Yeah, that's interesting that we have 3 election dates.
Yeah, it just seemed like a lot.
Interesting, right,
Yep.
Sandy?
Okay, well, with that being said,
I'll make a motion to accept the proposed meeting schedule for 2016 as presented.
Support.
Sandy, could we have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Shippers,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Keith,
Yes.
Mayor Folkins.
Yes, motion carries.
Mayor,
Yes,
members of the City Council,
yes.
this next or final item on the city manager's report is special recognition for Councilmember Shippers and Councilmember Stevens. If you wouldn't mind
Okay,
perhaps taking the floor,
okay.
we will move forward. Which one?
Mrs. Shippers, would you like to come up?
Not really. Not even at all. I think Councilmember Stevens should be recognized. I'd like to know whose idea this was.
Mine.
Okay, this evening, Councilmember Shippers is being awarded for her volunteerism. And this is the Mayor's Award for Excellence in Community Service and Volunteerism, presented on December 1st, 2015 to T.I. Shippers for 5 years of dedicated volunteer service to the City of Cadillac through its City Council. Thank you for playing a vital role in the prosperity and growth of our community. Your commitment and service to our citizens is sincerely appreciated.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Councilmember Stevens.
Here, I'll let you buy one.
Okay, and this evening, Councilmember Stevens is also receiving the Mayor's Award for Excellence in Community Service and Volunteerism, presented on this day, December 21st, 2015. For 15 years of dedicated volunteer service to the City of Cadillac through its Board of Review. Thank you for playing a vital role in the growth and the prosperity of our community. Your commitment and service to our citizens is sincerely appreciated.
Great job. This is awesome.
Okay. And Councilmember Stevens is also this evening receiving the Mayor's Award for Excellence in Community Service and Volunteerism for 15 years of dedicated volunteer service to the City of Cadillac through its City Council. Thank you for playing a vital role in the growth and prosperity of our community. Your commitment and service to our citizens is again sincerely appreciated.
That's the second one. There you go.
We just have one more thing.
You mean I stood up too early?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'll do it again.
Okay, so this evening, I have a proclamation to recognize the dedicated service of Arthur Dale Stevens to the City of Cadillac. Whereas on November 2nd, 1999, Arthur Dale Stevens was first elected by the voters of the City of Cadillac to serve a 4-year term as the Ward 3 representative on the Cadillac City Council. Whereas he first took the oath of office in January 2000 and was subsequently re-elected to serve on the City Council for 3 additional terms, bringing his total City Council service to 16 years. Whereas he has served as the Mayor Pro Tem of the city since January 1st, 2010. And whereas he was first appointed to the City of Cadillac's Board of Review in January of 2000 and has provided 16 years of dedicated leadership to this very important function of the city. And whereas he poured himself into helping a family grieving the loss of their son, helped them to find an outlet to honor their son's memory by leading the City Council in creating the Skate Park Committee and helping raise the funds that led to the construction of the Chris Blackburn Skate Park, which continues to provide entertainment for users to this day. Whereas throughout his 4 terms as City Council representative, he has consistently advocated support for policies and legislation benefiting our industry, our youth, our veterans, and has provided passionate and dedicated leadership to several other boards, committees, and projects. And whereas he has tirelessly dedicated himself to serving our city as the council member representing the 3rd Ward. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Carla J. Filkins, Mayor of the City of Cadillac, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of the City of Cadillac, do hereby express appreciation and gratitude to Arthur Dale Stevens for his 16 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Cadillac, for his long-standing commitment to public service, and do hereby wish him great success in his future endeavors, resolved this 21st day of December 2015.
Room for all those things. Good for you.
Okay. And with that, that takes us to the final public comment for this evening. And so at this time, we'll open the floor. Again, if you come to the podium, Marcus, could we turn the podium back around, please? If you could please provide us your name and then also write your name and address for the clerk, it would be greatly appreciated.
Heck, I should get it up here.
Good evening. I'm Sue Mellema. Art, you know I love you, and I do not want to take anything away from you. You are a true public servant, and I thank you. I would like to express a disappointment, however, that the city and the council has chosen not to recognize a member who served for 5 years and 10 months. That council member's name is Doug Mellema, and I thank you.
Okay, seeing no one else, we'll go ahead and close public comment and move to good of the order. And this evening, we will go ahead and start with Councilmember Shippers.
Thank you. I think what I would like to say mostly, well, first let me give you a little bit of business. The Youth Council met this past week, and thanks to another youth member, Juliana Theobald, came forth with an idea for another project for the Youth Council. So looks like they're going to be collaborating and doing some other pretty cool stuff in the community. So keep your eyes peeled for future youth projects. Those kids are cooking with gas, to take an old expression. Secondly, I would like to personally thank Councilmember Stevens for not just his service to the community, but for, when I was new, helping me learn the ropes and being willing to talk to me. And although many times we've disagreed, I still have never, ever questioned your integrity and your mindfulness for the city. And I know that in your heart, everything you've ever done here has been what you thought was the best thing for the city. And I'd like to commend you for that. And having been on committees with you, and your sense of history and your knowing people and knowing what's going on, you've been a movable force here. So thank you very much. And don't be a stranger.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll move to Councilmember Keith.
I had the same thing to say about. I didn't obviously haven't known him very long, but he has offered to help me learn, and I'm certainly going to take him up on it. So congratulations to you for all your years of service. One other thing, it's kind of an interesting thing. I recently received this packet from Bernie and Vlasta Bovy. And in case you don't know who they are, these are the two people who were pretty instrumental in getting that mural on the back of the movie. And Bernie himself is an interesting guy. Some of you know I'm a former Marine. Well, Bernie is really something. He was a China Marine. And what that means is, prior to World War II, prior to it, the city of what we know as Peking, which is then Peiping, China, was actually run by 5 powerful countries: United States,
Britain.
Oh, Great Britain, right. France, who else we did? Japan, right before the war, and they were getting ready to cause some real problems. Anyway, as always is the case, United States Marines were assigned to guard our legation there. And the China Marines, many of them were mounted Marines. And there can't be very many of those people left alive, but Bernie Bovee was one of them. And I met Bernie at Cabernet ski area. He and I are members of the ski club, and I saw on his bumper sticker, China Marine, and I thought, wow, how could this be? Bernie's got to be in his 90s. He's got to be. And he still skis. Amazing. Anyway, what he did was he sent me a little packet saying he would like to get some people together in the city to see if we could get some more of these murals. And he sent me this little packet, and I'll make it available to the other council members, of a little city, I believe it's pronounced Chemainus in Canada, little city. And they put all these murals on buildings in their city. And Bernie would like to see us in Cadillac do that type of thing. I called Bernie and talked to him on the phone and told him I'd meet with him in person about the thing. And I just said, from my standpoint, if he could get all this together and got permission and got some funding, et cetera, I, for one, would be supportive of doing some more. I know that a number of you are pretty much heavy into the arts, and this would be an amazing thing for our city. So he sent it to me because I was the new guy. Also because I was a Marine too. So there you go. Anyway, that's I'll leave this out. Anybody who would like to see it, you're welcome to. He's a great guy. Thank you, Mayor.
Good deal. Okay. Councilmember Spelman.
Thank you. I want to express my appreciation to the folks who are heading up the Cadillac Community Partnership Group, all the officers, as well as all of the other community members that are participating. It sounds like you're really excited about the work that you're doing, and that's great. These grassroots organizations are really what it's all about, to take care of your neighborhood. And it gets neighbors talking to each other, I'm sure. So thank you for doing that and taking the leadership roles that you have. I'd also like to thank the band members that are here and that were recognized tonight for all of the hard work that you've done this past season, and also to the parents of those band kids, because it's without parents' support, you probably can't do a lot what you do. So thanks to those parents who probably put in long hours of work and then also support you in that endeavor, as well as the teachers. And then to Councilmember Stevens, can't believe it's been, you've done this for 16 years. I'm finishing my 8th year. I can't imagine doubling that. Congratulations on that long service to the city of Cadillac. We are indebted to you. And everybody has expressed that above all, you have been a public servant. And we certainly appreciate that, and you'll be missed.
Thank you very much.
Marcus.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. First, I just wanted to mention, generally speaking, season's greetings to everybody. This is our last meeting before the new year starts, and I hope that everybody has an opportunity to celebrate with their families and bring in the new year with some cheer. Also would like to certainly thank our operations as well. We've always seemed to be able to put our best foot forward, and I am very grateful and very proud of everybody that works for us, and so thank you. Councilmember Stevens, you, as I think it's been mentioned a couple of times already here tonight, we're always willing to help out and to jump in and to help make connections from the very first day I've been here. In fact, even before I was officially here, running into a few times along the route and being very welcoming is always very sincerely appreciated. And your genuineness has always been very appreciated as well. Certainly, you and I have had disagreements over the last 6 years, which is no different than me having disagreements with anyone else on City Council. the nature of a council-manager relationship. We're always not going to always see eye to eye, but I really appreciate your sincerity. I certainly wish you the very best as you move on into new arenas, and certainly thank you. In fact, I'm hoping we'll see you perhaps working with one of our volunteer boards
You will.
in the future. So I know you're not going too far, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Steves.
Yeah, I warned him last meeting that I might take a couple extra minutes tonight, but if anybody knows me, I'm not very poetic. So, and of course, I actually wrote out, which I never do, I wrote out a nice thing and left it in the car. So I'm going to be going off the top of my mind, but when I came from a military family. My dad was in the Navy for 32 years. We traveled all over, and then he decided Cadillac's the spot because he knew this town and had relatives of how nice of a town it was. A lot of people don't know this, but the first person I think my sister and I saw in this town was Bruce DeWitt. I remember telling her I thought he was like 7 foot tall. He was a little shorter, but Bruce actually was in an apartment underneath where we lived. So I've seen him. To give you an idea, he was already working at the city then. So we came to Cadillac, and what a community it really is. It's a beautiful place. We were taught to be service oriented, which we see in our staff that we have as well. And so the thanks go to there's a lot of people to be thanked, and one of them in particular, it is the staff. We have an amazing staff here, and just dedicated to this community. They are so willing to go the extra mile. They've been committed to our town. I see a lot of them here tonight. It's just from every department. It starts with Fran. If anybody knows Fran is an example of our community. All these years of her sitting at that front desk, and she could have 9 people coming in and complaining, and the 10th person, she's still as polite as can be and happy. And when we're doing board of reviews, I see this a lot. People come in to update her on what's going on in their world. And so behind Fran, though, is a lot of the staff that people don't always see that are so dedicated to our community, working in different departments. They're just unbelievable. And we don't see them all. They're not on the streets, but they're doing a lot of work. Owen, I don't think is here tonight.
Yeah, is there?
Owen is. Owen has a responsibility of trying to tighten this budget up and try to make him and his staff, to make this budget work. And then he gets 5 eager council members that want to come in and change that thing around and add things and do everything else. And he's just done a phenomenal job in that department. His whole staff has done that. And I could go down the street department. We are very fortunate, the street department we have. The willingness, some of them, we could be enjoying Christmas this year, and they may be away from their families making sure the roads are okay for us. And a group of guys that is just guys and gals that are very dedicated, that have put a lot of time into our community. They have passion for it. The utilities department, same thing. A water main breaks, that doesn't wait for Christmas or a holiday or a Sunday night or whatever. They're out in that hole getting it done, making sure that water is available to us, as we know that's the most important aspect, and we don't realize that till we don't have it. And the utilities department, the people on the streets, the ones that have to interact with the public, they do an amazing job. The fire department, I see them there. The fire, the police. They're willing to give their life. They're going to give their lives if they have to for our community at any given time. And that's just something that's amazing. And so I wasn't planning on doing this part, but seeing them all there, we experience this. People don't realize it till you're in a situation. And I remember when the 911 call, we had a call from my dad before he died, and them arriving, and the load that's off your shoulders when they show up. It's, you don't always get the credit, but you guys are number one. We appreciate it. Our police department, the same thing. You addressed this last meeting, but our police, we don't realize both of those departments, they have to make a decision like this. We get to have the joy of having committee meetings to make decisions. They have to make a life and death decision without any hesitation. And we are so fortunate to have those police officers that are dedicated to this community. You have to be careful. That's why I had a list so I wouldn't miss any. But we have, from the utilities to the street, the parks, we have the most beautiful parks. I know, I don't know if Al Dumont's here or not, but we have some amazing parks. The dedication that we have to this community in our parks. And then, of course, our cemetery. I think we all agree that Cadillac Cemetery is above any other communities. And what a place to have our loved ones laying to rest in that cemetery. So the staff is just unbelievable. The commitment that they have. This is not a job they get into to make a lot of money. Matter of fact, a lot of them sacrifice that for part of the team. And we're just so thankful for the staff that we have. And I'm going to miss, if there's one area that's going to be one of the biggest areas that I'll miss, is working with the staff, because you guys are amazing. The council, and the council's families, I see some of the spouses here tonight. It's something that people don't realize, unelected officials. It's a 24-hour, 7 days a week job, and you're getting talked to in stores and restaurants. It's not just our council meetings we're involved. To council members Boss and council member Dean and council member Scott Reagan and Jay Thiebaud, Tom Dyer, the past Mayor Blanchard, past Mayor Barnett, past council member Doug Malama, to the current board, our newest member, Councilmember Keith, and Councilmember Shippers, and Councilmember Spillman, and Mayor Filkins. It's been an amazing group of people that are dedicated. I agree with you. Sometimes we argue, we debate, but people have a love for this community. And it shows by the commitment on this council. And that's appreciated. There's a lot of those past council members I mentioned that I had an opportunity to work with over the years. And I appreciate all their time and commitment that they've given. It is something that people do not realize till you're in it, the commitment that they have. And I always joke I've been on both sides. I've been on the side that we maybe didn't do a lot of discussion, and we were maybe accused of being a like just rubber stamping things to where a council that might do more debating. But I think the debating's good, the talking's good. It's how we treat each other, and just very fortunate for the council that we have. So I am very, very thankful to the council as well. I noticed some of my family is here too. This goes along with the council members. My mom, my sister, my nephew Cooper, and my brother-in-law Bill. People don't realize what the families put up with in this. And I know the spouses. I have the utmost respect for the spouses of members, because your job's to be protective. And there was a lot of times things were going on at the meetings. I didn't care about me, but I was like, I hope my mom's not watching this. Because their thoughts are to be protective. And it's something that I appreciate about is the family. We have a good family. My dad, many knew him, Charles Stevens. My mom and dad, if you ever want to point fingers at me for what I've been doing at meetings, you need to talk to them and blame them, because they truly taught us the value of community service and commitment. My dad was in the military for 32 years. I didn't serve, but I have the utmost respect for veterans, and always wish I had, and this was one way to not even fill a void of doing that, but to serve our community. So thank you to the family, and to all the families. I'm looking around, I see Councilmember Schipper's husband here, and I'm sure there's some others, but thank you for your commitment as well. Councilmember Malama's wife as well. But it's a commitment that you give. It's the time too. And they would choose where we're going to eat and what times based off if there's going to be people there to talk during the dinner. So there's many times we went to dinner and I didn't join them while they ate. So thank you very much for that. A little bit, it's interesting. I haven't really said this a lot, but if the two things that make me click, it's being trained by the family that I had, but also this was a way for me, I felt, to give a Christian example in my belief in God. And I did. When I ran the first time, I went on the premise that I was going to pray before every meeting, that I would do the right thing. And I know I get technical. I get technical with the constitutions and the laws and the rules, but that was my way of, I always prayed to have the strength. And that to me has always been something that I appreciate in this community, is the outwardness of being able to have our faith. Some communities don't have that ability, and we do. And we do things that I think allow, by having the nativity scene in the park and things like that. But really that was two things: my belief in God, and really is showing an example. I know sometimes there was that challenge of feeling like just go along with the team so that it doesn't be a problem. And unfortunately, I'd be praying about having the strength in my mind to do the right thing. And I know we all do. I think we all do that. We may have different opinions on things, but we're doing it with good cause. And so I appreciate the citizens. And I'm going to say this to the citizens of our community. And I know this sounds crazy, to the ones that have been supportive, but also to the ones that have not been as supportive and may have challenged my faith. Because it's easy to have a faith in God when everything's going well. It's when you're challenged, when you have to really look at yourself and pray about it, and you're going to have the strength to do what you feel is right or not. But I really believe this. When we do have community issues, they're small. The proudest moments that I have seen is our community comes together in the bad times, and we really do. Two, I was on a radio show recently and was asked, and two things came to mind. One was when Chris Egley was killed in the line of duty, and people that didn't even know him. I was with the family when we left the school. The school was packed with the funeral. And as we proceeded to the cemetery, to see the line of people that were just lined up downtown, all the way from the high school. And as we were going up Cemetery Hill, you could see all the cars that were in the procession all the way back to Ponderosa. People lined up on the sides, some saluting, some with their hand over their heart. People that didn't even know the Egleys, but they were there to say, "We support you." And I remember that thing, and that was one of the proudest moments I had of being a citizen of Cadillac. Ironically, the parade that was the opposite direction was in 2011 when the Vietnam Wall came to Cadillac. Some of us got to participate in that. Again, seeing the community come together. some veterans later confessed that they never felt appreciated for their service. Again, this time the parade started on Clam Lake, a little past the cemetery, and headed down to the park. And again, it was lined up with people on the sides. And I know that you as well looked behind us in the fire truck and saw the motorcycles and all the procession coming down from Cemetery Hill. But people just lined up on the sides, and what we did as a community. It was also repeated when, unfortunately, we had Officer Bill Knitz that died on duty. And again, the community came together, that time in the winter, but people still gathered. And so I have been so fortunate just to be part of this community, and then the people, the citizens that voted, that were for or against, but the citizens that lived here. And we have people that have been here generation after generation. They have names, street names that are named after their family members. And I find an amazing trend with them. They have a love for our community, and they have a love for doing things the right way and being fair. And they have a love for, I mean, many of them, the same generation. Four Winds is a good example where they have 3-4 generations that have worked there. And our community has it's just an amazing community. And the citizens, I can't even thank you enough for everything you've done. So it's ironic you're trying to thank me, but the thanks goes back for the opportunity of doing this. It's been an honor to serve this community and the people that we have of all backgrounds. Our community is very diverse in that, and it's been a joy to work with all aspects. And it's going to be missed. And I see the Board of Review. Joe's there watching to make sure. You better go back on the Board of Review. But we have an amazing commitment and a teamwork there, and I may, if given that opportunity, will continue serving on the Board of Review. But really, to the staff, I didn't mention that, I've worked with 2 city managers, Pete Stalker and Marcus, and thank you to both of you for your commitments. Again, it's a lot of hours that are put in, and there's a lot of projects in a lot of different direction. And I want to thank you as well, and all the staff that's here that I didn't mention by department if I missed. But again, all I can say is thank you. And if you're bored, I know Christmas Eve and Christmas night, but on 107.9, I've done this for the last few years, a Christmas show. This one's dedicated and thanked to the citizens of our community and the surrounding communities, as well as there's a segment for the veterans as well. If 7 o'clock to 8 p.m. on 107.9 FM, if you're listening and want some good Christmas music. And I have to put a shout out, an hour before I know on Christmas Eve is a program for the band and the choir as well. So just as a thank you to them, but God bless all of you for what you've done. Thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate it working for this community. Thanks. Thank you.
With that, I'm going to close the meeting so that we can all join in fellowship over cake and coffee. You didn't know about that either. So we still have opportunity to visit, and I echo all of the things that the other council members said this evening in regards to having you sit on my left side in this first couple of years that I've been here. You've been a good mentor, and I know if we need the answer on something, you may not know it, but you're a good researcher and you've kept all your notes. So,
absolutely.
So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
With that, I'm going to say Merry Christmas and go ahead and adjourn the meeting.